We have arrived to one of the last sweet times of 2024. This month and next month, we have a very clear sky, a cosmic sky, to really manifest our highest timeline by really feeling and acting as if it has already happened. The frequency and overall vibe of June is really celebration and dedication. The seeds that we plant now in June and July, specifically around the new moons in June and July, are really going to be the guiding force for us when we get into some more hectic energy towards the end of 2024. If this is your first time here, hello, my name is Courtney, and this is my monthly Cosmic Energy Download series. I'm so happy to have you here. Today's video, I'll be highlighting the energetic themes of the month, going over some astrology, some crystals that pair very well with this energy that we are going to be experiencing. And lastly, I'll be chatting about any fun life updates and my current crystal favorites at the end of this video, so stick around to hear that. Alrighty guys, so for the flow of today's video, I'm going to start off with those celestial moments, starting with the new moon in Gemini, transitioning to Cancer season. Also, this means that we have the summer solstice as it's on the same day. Next, we have the full moon in Capricorn. And the last thing I wanted to talk about is Saturn Retrograde. All right, so diving straight in, on June 6th, we have the new moon in Gemini. And man, like I said, this is a new moon to plant those seeds. Funny because this week is actually really interesting because we have a lot of Gemini influence. On June 3rd, Mercury enters into Gemini. We have Jupiter in Gemini at this point. And then we have this new moon 3 days later on June 6th. So what does this all mean? There is going to be a very heightened sense of communication during this time. And something I brought up in last month's video was really making sure during Gemini season you are doing your affirmations, really speaking, your thoughts, speaking your words, and creating your reality. There is so much potent power here, especially with that Jupiter influence, that Mercury influence, and then we have the sun and moon in Gemini. Like, it's just a really potent time this week to really be using your affirmations and using your words wisely. Take this new moon to really explore the inner depths of your subconscious. What are you dreaming of right now? What is it that you want to transition into? Who are you evolving into? What is your end goal here? It's a great time right now to really reflect on the person you were envisioning at the beginning of the year, because we are right now smack dab in the middle of 2024. How? Time has really flown by. I can't believe it myself. But here we are. We're halfway through with 2024. Take some time to set those intentions and maybe reflect on, I was able to accomplish so much in 6 months, or maybe I've fallen off a little bit. Let me think about these intentions so I can get back on the bandwagon and get these things done before the end of 2024. I only got 6 months left. So make sure you are setting those goals and dedicating yourself to the things that you really want. You have a lot of manifesting energy right now to help you accomplish that. Some crystals I recommend working with on the new moon in Gemini would be clear quartz, Amazonite, and gold rutilated quartz. I actually made a crystal grid recently. I shared it on my Instagram. And I was really thinking of just like this manifesting energy we're having right now, and this Gemini energy. And I created this crystal grid and it had all these crystals in it. And I was really setting an intention for really just so much magic for this next year with Jupiter and Gemini. My birthday's approaching, and I just felt really good, and I was really using myself as a channel to envision this highest version of myself. So I definitely recommend these crystals. Maybe make a crystal grid with these 3 crystals. You can add more to it But those are very much in this vibe of this time and Gemini energy. Next up, we have on June 20th, the double whammy, we have Cancer season starting, which means we have our summer solstice. So solstices are notorious for really gathering with your friends and family. It's a time to celebrate how far you have come this year. It's a very much like self-reflection, introspection, honoring just everything that you've accomplished this year. Even if you feel like you aren't where you thought you would be by now, still honor how far you've come. The solstice is a great day to go outside, to really charge in the sun. I definitely recommend charging some crystals in the sunlight on the summer solstice. It's a fun ritual to do. I know I'll be doing it. Put them outside for a little bit, have them charge in the sunlight. You can do this too if you want to do some sunbathing and just feeling very relaxed on the summer solstice. But I think the biggest thing that you should be doing on the summer solstice is journaling. Even just dedicating a whole page in your journal to like your outlook on life. Have things really changed from the beginning of the year? Like, did you have a lot of major changes? Maybe this past eclipse season really set you on a different path and like you didn't think you'd be where you are right now. Like really put that all on the page and talk about the shifts, the changes, if you've elevated, if you want different things now than what you were kind of anticipating you would want at the beginning of the year. This is very much a self-reflection journal entry, so I definitely recommend doing that. And really, transitioning from Gemini season to Cancer season, we are feeling this energy because there is such a slower paced energy that we're going to be feeling, right? The summer solstice is here, Cancer season is here. We're transitioning from an air sign to a water sign. Gemini energy is very go, go, go. It's can give you a whiplash because we do so many things in a short amount of time. We're just multitasking people, and a lot of people can get burned out during Gemini season. I get it. So take it upon yourself. Maybe this Cancer season feels like a breath of fresh air and you can kind of just chill, connect with that water energy and let things flow in your life. Some crystals I recommend working with during the summer solstice and Cancer season would definitely be sunstone, really feel that solar energy and just feel like this light fill you up inside on this day. I also recommend working with moonstone on the summer solstice because we have equal parts of light that day, equal parts of day and night. So that's a fun combo to kind of work with that duality, find that balance. And then as far as Cancer season, again, moonstone, any type of moonstone. If you have black moonstone, peach moonstone, green moonstone, rainbow moonstone, white moonstone, moonstone is wonderful during Cancer season. I definitely recommend working with that stone. It'll help you feel guided by your intuition. It'll nurture your soul and just help you feel replenished during the season. Alrighty, speaking about all this balance talk, let's now jump to our next celestial event happening on the following day, which is June 21st. We have a full moon in Capricorn. So really this back-to-back energy of really having like a pause and, seeing where maybe you are working too much. You kind of can hit the brakes for a little bit and self-reflect. Capricorn energy is very much like let's work, let's get to it. I don't want to wait. I want to do it right now. Very similar to kind of like that Gemini energy. Maybe a little bit more rigid, not as free flowing as Gemini, but very strict and like, let's do this. Like, let's be on time. Let's make sure we're doing all these things. So when we have like this Cancer influence, and the summer solstice influence really close to that, it really is a great day to self-reflect, see where you may be burning yourself out, where you need a pause, or even maybe where you've been lazy and you need to pump the gas a little bit. This really is a full moon to find your motivation, to connect with your why again. We are all on the pursuit of something in our life. We are all discovering and learning and changing and evolving. And sometimes we can get lost in the day-to-day and we forget what our why is. Why are we doing all these things? Why are we working towards this goal? This is a great time to do that self-reflection, to feel that completion and narrow down your why in your life, in your passion, in your work, whatever it may be, whatever you are trying to manifest at this time. We have this energy, this clear sky energy to really help us tune in to our most heartfelt desires. Why do you want that thing? Why is this your highest timeline? Really ask yourself those questions. Also wanted to mention, this is a great full moon to if you're wanting to start a new business, or you are wanting to really hunch down or crunch on the numbers with your finances, this is a really good moon to do those strategic things, those planning strategically for your finances, for your business, for maybe you're trying to get a new job, working on your resume. Those are all really good tasks to do during this time. So I also wanted to throw that out there. A crystal that I recommend working with during the full moon in Capricorn would be Tiger's Eye. Tiger's Eye helps you find that balance. It brings this motivation, this courage, this energy to you that maybe you didn't know you needed. Maybe you needed that little extra oomph right now, or maybe you really need to find that balance so you can pause and take a second to breathe. There is this very much go energy with Tiger's Eye, but there also is this time to pause. There is this time to sit and think about your goals and when you want to attack. You have an advantage point when you're working with Tiger's Eye. Alrighty, and the last transit I wanted to talk about is not a major one, but it's something I wanted to talk about because I've been talking about Saturn return in the last year. And on June 29th, we have Saturn Retrograde in Pisces. So I wanted to bring this up because if you are currently on your Saturn return, things are about to get turned up a bit. Basically, this retrograde for everybody, and including, people on their Saturn return, it's really going to point out what is working in your life and what is not working in your life. Specifically, things that you are trying to do that are important to you. The Saturn in Pisces influence is really about bringing structure to your dreams, to the things you imagine in your highest timeline. How can we make that happen? How can we make this roadmap to you living your dream life? Saturn is okay, you want all these things? Well, let's put in the work. Let's plan it out. So wherever you are on your Saturn return, or wherever you are this year as you're working with Saturn's energy, you're going to be feeling a little bit more of, okay, this is not going where I thought it was going to be going. Or you're going to be feeling okay, these have all worked. Well, how could we maximize this even more? Let's keep doing this, right? I do want to say that Saturn is an outer planet. We don't really feel its retrograde as strongly as Mercury, Mars, and Venus, because those three planets are personal planets. They're closer to Earth, so we feel that retrograde more. The outer planets, we don't feel it as much, but it's still there lingering in the background. But yeah, this is a really interesting time for people on their Saturn return. So if you're unaware of what a Saturn return is, I have a whole video on it. I'll have a pop-up card show up right now. But basically, if you're the ages between 27 and a half to 31 or 30, you are going through your Saturn return, which is Saturn in Pisces. I had mine the years prior. Mine was Saturn in Aquarius, so I've gone through it. I know what it's like. So I made that video with Saturn in mind and Saturn in Pisces in mind, because I was kind of getting a little bit of the download of how this could transpire for people going through their Saturn return. So definitely check it out if you're interested. Saturn enters into Aries on February 13th, 2026. So that's when it's going to move on to the next group of individuals that are going to be having their Saturn return. So, this retrograde, it's an 18-month retrograde. It's a very long time. And once it's out of the retrograde, it's 3 more months of Saturn in Pisces, and then it switches to Aries. So it really is this midway point in your return where things are just gonna maybe change a little bit. You're gonna be feeling things. You might be at a crossroads in your life, or you might have to make a decision this summer that's gonna affect your growth and your adulthood, you know? So stay tuned to that. A crystal I recommend working with during Saturn retrograde. I really like recommending square shaped crystals during Saturn retrogrades because they bring more order to you. And since we're going to be feeling the effects a little bit more, it just might help a little bit if you have a square crystal, just have it around you, have it on your desk, something like that. I also recommend working with red aventurine. It can help with kind of having that sense of action and making sure like you are sticking to the things that you have set out for yourself. You're not deviating from the path, and you're feeling in alignment with your Saturn return. So that is all my celestial highlights for the month of June. Again, we do have a lot of good energy with just acting and doing things and feeling like we're getting closer and closer to this person we want to be. We're midway through the year. So if there's things you've been waiting to do, you know, this is a major time to launch those projects, to start things in your life that are meaningful to you. This can be so many different things, so many different aspects. So whatever you are really focusing on in your life and you want to accomplish and you feel like your heart just expand when you think about doing this thing, like plant those seeds right now and work towards it because you have a lot of energetic support right now. So really diving into some of my crystal favorites. I'll keep this kind of short and sweet. I have two. The first one being angelite. I was traveling in May for my honeymoon and I had some crystals that I brought with me in my suitcase. And I strategically picked out these crystals, and one of them was angelite. I wanted to have my guardian angels with me while I was traveling. I wanted to make sure my bag didn't get lost at TSA or lost at international airport somewhere. I was going to many different countries for connecting flights, so I'm happy to report that we did not lose our bags, so that was good. I felt like my little crystal hack worked. But yeah, I was definitely gravitating towards angelite when I was traveling, going to Greece and Italy, connecting with my angels, which also brings up my next crystal, this clear quartz skull. You know, when I was going to Greece, I was really thinking about like my ancestors because I'm Greek, and you know, just like look out in the water and think about just like my ancestry and just like how many of my family members have been in that water, and just, I don't know, like walked around and I don't know, had the same views. I wasn't on like the exact island where my ancestors were, but I was in Santorini, Greece, and I was just really happy to be there. And I felt like I was with my angels, and connecting with them. And I had wanted to go to Greece ever since I was a little girl. So like finally going there was just like this amazing feeling, and I had the best time ever. My honeymoon was awesome. And yeah, just like going on my honeymoon in May was amazing. Just taking time away from work. And honestly, for the first time ever in my YouTube career, I didn't post a long form video on a Friday. 2 times. It was back to back. And it was fine. I had things scheduled out while I was gone. I took a little break from YouTube, from all social media, really. And it was just nice doing that. I haven't done that in 4 years. So it felt really good just to take a break, and I'm back now. I'm ready to get back into my groove with content creation, and it really stimulated a lot of ideas within me, and I'm excited to be back and to be making videos. I hope you didn't miss me. I'm not gone. I'm still here. Just took a little bit of a break. But yeah, I'm officially done with everything involving my wedding, which feels good. And yeah, I'm just happy to be here and just to reflect on where I am in life. I'm so happy and so grateful. So yeah. Alrighty guys, so that's it for today's video. I hope you enjoyed learning about June's astrology. It's such a good time right now. I'm so excited for this month in July. And we'll get into next month about what we're foreseeing in the rest of 2024. Like I said, it's a little bit more hectic. It's going to be okay though, but definitely not the same energy as what we're going to be experiencing in June and July. So really soak it up this month. Do a lot of fun things, eat a lot of good food, see your friends and family, just have a great month. I hope that you're traveling or doing something fun that lights you up. If you liked today's video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you are new here, I would love it if you subscribed. Thanks so much for hanging out, and I will see you in my next one.